Let's review settings of the Pioneer DV-600AV for DVD, audio and SACD display. And we also briefly mention about settings of the AV audio video receiver Onkyo TX SR507. So first we switch on the TV. And then let's switch on the Pioneer. And we also switch receiver. So as we can see, the Pioneer is loading the disc, and we have SACD Super Audio CD inside. And let's go to the settings and go bit by bit through them. So here we go through the media, through the menu, and this is the menu screen. And the important settings are the initial settings, and then there is a little bit more in the audio settings, but the initial settings are the important bit if we want to make sure that we can play SACD and DVD-A audios on this player. So we're going to select using the wheel initial settings and press enter, and that's how they look like in this case. So in digital audio out, we have digital audio on, although this is not critical if you have player linked with the AV receiver through the HDMI cable, like in my case, because in the HDMI, if the HDMI is active, and you can see the HDMI light here on, HDMI active, then the digital out, so RCA digital out or optical digital out are not active, so you can have either HDMI or digital out, but it is on. Then we have digital Dolby digital out, we have Dolby digital, we have DTS out as DTS, linear PCM out, downsample off, because otherwise it will play or the stream that will be coming out of the receiver will be in PCM. MPEG out is MPAG, and we have HDMI out set to auto DSD. So that's how it needs to be configured. If you want to change the grade settings, you need to set the digital out to off, HDMI out to off, and then you can set them. I can show you that. So if you change this to off, and then we go to HDMI out to off, then these settings become active. One of the important ones is is this one here, to set to auto DSD, because then SACD is played as a direct digital stream, direct. So that's what you want to send it. So we're going to and here is the message. You need to confirm yes. And as I said, this is not critical, but I leave it on. As far as video outputs are done, I have set this to panoramic wide. Component out is set to progressive. AV connector out is set to video. HDMI resolution is set to the highest, so full HD, and the HDMI color I have set to full range RGB. Here you can set the language, obviously. Here you can set the display options, and here another important options here is DVD playback mode set to DVD audio. So that's what I'm using this for. And another important thing here is SACD playback set to multi-channel area. Again, to access this you need to disable HDMI out and digital audio out to off before you can access this and set and change the settings. Actually, there is one more thing that we could change here, is to change this to left and right, because then it will send it will downmix DTS to the DTS stereo, which means that some of the AV receivers, compatible AV receivers, still will be able to do a multi-channel playback. So that's how it should look like. Speakers are not active here because they are active only for the analog playback. So the analog outputs that are here. If you're using analog connection, not HDMI, then you need to send this. So it's going to be how many outputs analog outputs you use. You need to set speaker distance. You need to decide what speakers you use. Okay, then we push the return, and then in the audio settings, you basically want to disable virtual surround, which means that it will try to make a surround from the stereo signal. This is audio level compensation, so the quiet sounds will be sort of like increased, the louder sounds will be decreased. We want to send this to off for music playback, and I also send this to off. So that's settings. In video adjust, I don't think there's anything critical here. I basically left everything sort of like on the default, so that's how it looks like. Nothing has been here changed. As I said, I use this mainly for music. And here are some play modes that I don't really use. Right, so that's how it looks like. That's how the settings look on this player for the DVD audio and SACD playback. Let's play this record, because I want to show one more thing. I'm going to go out of it, and we hit play, and it will play the record. And one more thing that is worth to mention here. option that you can access only through the remote is the display button here, so you can display information on the screen. So if you push display, then it will show this kind of information on the screen. The interesting bit here is that it says audio 3.2.1 channel, even despite it's playing 5.1 channel. It never says 5.1 for whatever reason. But when we look at the receiver, so you can see it is receiving DVD-DSD, so exactly what we should be receiving, and then it is 5.1 on the receiving end. Stop the playback, and I put the DVD audio. There is a DVD audio record. Let's load it. It is loading. It says DVD audio. Right, so the disc is loaded. And again, I hit the play button here. So it plays the record, as you can see. And again, we hit a display button here. And it's not very nicely seen here because there is there's a very bright background here on this record, but here you can again see the 96 kilohertz 24 bits, and again 3/2.1 channel instead of 5.1 channel. Interestingly enough, on the receiver, what we get right now, what it detects is multi-channel PCM 5.1 and 96 kilohertz as a sampling rate. Here are helpful extracts from the DV-600 user manual: bitstream specifications for stereo and multi-channel playback, explanation of settings in initial settings digital audio out menu, explanation of settings in initial settings options menu, explanations of DTS downmix settings, explanation of initial settings HDMI out menu, and finally settings troubleshooting. Okay, let's stop the playback, and here in my Onkyo 507, my settings for the SACD and DVD audio playback are like that. If you hit the setup button, I have this attached to HDMI input 1, so I needed to assign that. So here we go. The first HDMI 1 is assigned to that, so sort of like HDMI input. The other ones are not really that critical for the music playback. Speaker setup, I've got Yamaha surround speakers. So they have impedance of 6 ohms. I don't have a second zone Then we have speaker config. I have subwoofer, powered subwoofer, so it is connected to the sub out. There are obviously small speakers. I think definition says less than 16 centimeters or less than 12 centimeters. I don't remember right now. So all the speakers are sound. I have 5.1, so I don't have any surround. In the back, crossover frequency is 150 Hz, and subwoofer it is distance. That is done in the through. That is measured. So basically, these are distances that are measured. This is done automatically via Odyssey auto setup, and these are speaker settings. Then we have some adjustments for the different inputs, different streams that we get. This can decide whether you want to change balance of volumes between different inputs. I have here 0 basically. This can change the synchronization delay between the audio and video. And then listening modes, that's probably an important bit to make sure that DSD is coming through and all other audio are coming through undisturbed. So that's my input, and I have everything sent to direct. So basically the stream goes into AV and then out without being processed. So as you can see, PCM is direct, Dolby is direct, DTS is direct, multi-channel PCM is direct, Dolby True Surround is direct, and DSD is set to DSD. So that's what we've got here. Then the volume setup, I don't think that is in any way important. That's the only setting that is here. And then hardware setup, what you want to do for HDMI is to set this off, audio TV out off, because otherwise the receiver will try to match the specification of the incoming signal to the TV. But here the audio will be sort of like processed purely through the AV receiver, so you want this audio TV out to be off. This is disabled, and HDMI control off again. So that means that again, TV settings have no influence on what the AV receiver does to the audio. And that's how my settings look like on the Onkyo, connected to the Pioneer DV-600. I'm quite happy with how it works, and I hope it was helpful.